and welcome back to my channel. I've always wanted to do that. Today I am doing a general reading. I just got a new camera. I got a new phone. That's why I haven't been posting. My old phone would only let me do so long of a reading. And we're gonna test it and see how long we can get out of this new camera. I think the quality is a lot nicer, and you guys are definitely gonna be able, wow, Knight of Cups, to see like the imagery a lot clearer. But for me, the big thing here is just that it fits on your phone screen. So let's get into it. And we're gonna start today with the Rider-Waite Tarot, and just kind of see what comes out. I like that this camera, like, I can see way more. Like, you can actually see me shuffling the cards, and even when I sit back, you can still see me. So we're gonna use this El Coyote mat. It's like a Mexican game, but we're gonna use it for like some sacred geometry to kind of bring some structure back into this, because as I'm filming this, we're in a retrograde, a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Libra. So all of the communication skills that we have are being affected by our ability to give equal give and take. So right now, everybody is struggling. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. This is just pre-context. Everybody is kind of struggling with their past and what they already have. The Three of Swords is struggle, heartache. And I feel like that's just everyone right now in this, like, we're readjusting from the pandemic, and everybody's still reminiscing on what could have been during that time. And then, but we're all rejoicing. We're also taking into ourselves that, like, Nine of Pentacles, we already have everything we ever needed. And anything we needed, we had during the pandemic, during our big shutdown. Some of you are still going through a big shutdown, and I'm really sorry about that. I hope things improve. And then we have the Three of Swords here, just kind of going back into that stagnation, that inability to kind of grasp at the things that you want most. And then the Fool card here for its interpretation of starting over and new beginnings and things getting better. So we love that. We love to see that. We're going to pull that up, and we're going to get your last third card. So starting out, my flash just went off, so I'm sorry if it's not as bright. I've been trying to get this phone to die all the way so I can actually, like, charge it and get, like, a full charge off of it. You know, that thing they tell you, like, let it die all the way and then charge it all the way, and it's better for your battery. So I've been trying to do that today. So we'll see how that goes. If it dies during this reading, then it was supposed to end right there. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. There it is. I was like, where is this card? Okay. So yeah, we're using the El Coyote mat to just bring some structure into this reading. Give it a little ancestral magic. This is ancestral magic, so I don't recommend non-Hispanic Latino cultures using this method of reading. Unless you are of some sort of descent. And I don't mean like I'm 1/4 the Hispanic. Like, I mean, like, like your grandmother's grandmother's grandmother told you that this was a good idea type thing. Because even if you're Hispanic and you're unpracticed, it still could be not very good for you. So just don't do that. But to those of you who are well practiced and do understand ancestral magic, you know that this is a really actually good and a little more complex way of reading things. And we're gonna go into that in a little bit, but for right now, well, we might, I don't know, we'll see what we have time for. So, oh, and the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So right now, Ace of Pentacles, you're feeling like you were given this grand offer in the past. The universe really gave you a lot. So right now you're putting in the work towards it because you're grateful. And some of you, if you pray, you've been saying your prayers. If you do rituals, you've been doing your rituals. You know, any sort of practice to give back to spirit, you've been doing that. And it's been really hard and it's been really rough. We saw that earlier with the mini spread that they kind of spat out for us, just to give us some background, some context. And then 3 of Pentacles, yeah, you're really putting in the work. And these two people here, these are the people that hired you. And they're really looking at you and they are really examining the work you've been doing, and they're taking that into appreciation. They really appreciate everything that you've been doing. So they're getting ready to give you something. They want to give you some sort of reward for everything you've done. So, that being said, I think the big thing here is to continue doing the hard work that you've been doing. And also to really, like, you're like, and it doesn't mean that, like, and I'm not talking in terms of like just like your bosses, although this very likely is your bosses, like, or like a work situation. I mean these two people as like the people that hired you, as like spirit, like your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your ancestors. Like, they're getting ready to give you a gift because you've shown appreciation to the gifts that they've given you in the past. And that right there is like milestones. That's what this 10 of Pentacles is, because this is all Pentacles. So this is all like your personal value and worth. And I think it's really great that, well, it just looks really great in general that like you have received gifts, you've been grateful for those gifts, and so then therefore they want to give you more gifts. Like, that's a great way. Yeah, see, that's a great way for them to pull you out of this like wounded warrior energy that you've been living in and bump you up to this King of Cups. For some of you, you're a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have water here twice with the Chariot for Cancer and King of Cups, which is all of them. And then we have all these Pentacles, so you could also be an Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Or there's a Wands card here, but there's not enough of them for me to say that fire signs are involved. We do have the Sun card here. This is Leo and Aquarius, Leo and Aquarius. I count the Sun card as Aquarius as well because the Sun is a star and the star card is Aquarius's card. So that's one of those cross-reading things that I feel I do differently than most people. And then the last one here. So in the past, you had this Two of Cups energy. Actually, they're telling me to move this one over here. Yeah, so you're about to have this Two of Cups energy. The person that you were with before lacked the ability to communicate to you and give you the recognition that you deserved. So in the past, you were unable to get the recognition you deserved. So Spirit gave you that recognition in the form of an offer or a gift that they gave you, and you've been really grateful for that gift, and you haven't given up on the work that comes with that gift. And therefore, they're getting ready to give you another one, but this time it's going to be more in the form of a person or an offer, or someone is coming to you with an offer. Ace of Pentacles is like Spirit dropping it in your lap. The Three of Pentacles is like, okay, we dropped it in your lap, let's see what they do with it. And you put in the work. Like, it's like they planted the seed, like they dropped the little seed from the sky and it got planted, like it went into the dirt, and then you nurtured and cared for it and did the work towards it to grow it. And now that it's grown, you're about to receive fruit. So if that makes more sense to you guys that way, that's how it's coming across here, is that you put in the work, so now we can reward you for doing the work. Because you're not this wounded warrior anymore. You're a king, and a king who can celebrate, no less, as the King of Cups. Knight of Swords is, the inability, here I'm getting that it's the inability to communicate, because typically for me, the Knight of Swords is like someone rushing in with a message, but in the past energy, and then with the Six of Wands crossing it, I just feel like it feels more like a lack thereof. They were unable to tell you how great you were, or they didn't want to tell you how great you were. But I'm getting this past energy is just feeling very negative to me, like someone was just being too selfish or stubborn or set in their ways, to just say you're doing a great job, or we really like the work that you've been doing. So yeah, just keep doing the work that you've been doing, because Spirit is the one who's telling you, we really appreciate the work that you've been doing. So in the cause aspect of this, like, little guy here, this whole setup, I'm trying to think how to the work for the gift that you got. You've got the Ten of Pentacles, so that just confirms again what I said, is just you were given a gift, you put in the work, so now this is what you get. And it, like, que bueno, but not in like a bad way. See, my family, we use it sarcastically, and so like, que bueno, that's what you get. But in traditional terms, it's more like, oh, you're having a good day, you're having a good day, yeah, well, good, that's what you get. Like, you deserve this in a good way. Like, you didn't ask for this in a way that's like, haha, that's your fault. It's not your fault. It was never your fault. It just had to happen. And then here with the effect is this forward movement. I see you moving forward, but it's more like, for me here, it feels more like you're moving up. Like the Knight of Pentacles is kind of like the last night before you become a queen in the decks. That's how I see it, of course. So if you interpret it differently, then interpret it how you want to. That's why I let you guys see the spreads, because if you see the same thing that I see, then great, and if you don't, well then, this is how I see it, and that's the whole reason you're here, is for perspective. I feel like a lot of the time when readers say like, oh, well then don't watch me, like, yeah, don't watch me if you feel like you don't resonate, but at the same time, I appreciate your interpretation, but this is my perspective and my interpretation of the exact same thing. I'll let you digest that. So everybody has, and that's the beauty of tarot, I feel like, is that everybody has their own interpretations of the exact same thing. You know, what I see when I look at the Chariot is different from what others might see when they look at the Chariot. But for me, this is definitely one of my favorite things to do, is to not only do readings and give my interpretation, but also to watch readings for myself, and watch other readers' interpretations, because it's quite interesting, actually. So, sorry, moving on. It's a little tidbit there, but I do want you to know that this is moving forward, and it's moving more in like an upscale, la escalada, like, you know, stairway to heaven type situation. Like, you're moving up a level, you're going up in life. And then, yeah, the Nine of Wands here is just simply reminding us that of what we went through, not just during this rough astrological time, which it's always rough astrological time for everyone, whether you're being directly affected by it or not. But I do want to remind people that like retrogrades and astrological events, they really only affect you if you allow them to. And not just like, and I know some people are like, no, it just always fucks me up. But that's the thing, is like, every time that you say that to yourself, you allow that energy to come in. And I know it's like, but it still happens. Even if I try to do better or say nothing, it's instead of, but you tell yourself on the inside, you're like, oh, it's because it's a retrograde. Like, you try to find something to blame it on. And at the end of the day, yes, we as human beings, I feel, are affected by the planetary alignments. Like, that is 100%, like 70% of our body is water. And when the moon is full, the moon controls the push and pull of the tides. Not just when it's full, but all the time. But I mean, like, in general, when the moon is full, and the moon does control the push and pull of the tides, you can't tell me that water in us is not being pushed and pulled to its fullest effect. Like, you can just... And that's just one planet that has a proven effect on the earth. Like, you know, if we were to go into every single one, which we do not have time for, we would be able to kind of depict more so what areas, if that planet is doing that, why is it necessary for the universe to shift in order for us to have a different perspective? Probably because as a whole, as a collective, which is what this reading is, we as people begin to just think that we begin to just get set in one mindset that the universe as a whole has to shift in order to for everyone to create their own individual opinion. The only people who don't have that struggle are Aquarius, because they are the sign of people, and they are the sign of rebellion, and they always have their own individual opinion. However, they can fall victim to people syndrome, which is what I call it, which is basically when everyone around you wants to do something and you agree to do it too, but you don't actually want to do it, but you do it because everybody else around you is doing it. They are very prone to falling victim to that. However, it's not like, it doesn't happen that often. So, but yeah, I feel like that's It doesn't happen that often for Aquarians, so if you're an Aquarius and you're watching this and you feel insulted by that, but like, if you're still here, then you value that ideal, or you'll take that into consideration moving forward. Don't do things just because everyone else wants to do them or wants you to do them. Do them because you want. It's what you want. So that's all I can say for this portion of it. I kind of want to pull some oracle cards, but I don't know who I want to pull oracle wise. I think we're gonna use shadows and light. I have a bunch of pre-pulled cards on the table for the zodiacs. But this, like I said, was just like a test video to see how much time I have on this new camera. And it's working pretty well. Like, we're almost through this reading, so let's pull a couple oracle cards and get you some advice. Typically, I do it the other way around. I'll start with oracle first, and then I will throw some other... Sorry, guys. I will throw some tarot out there for detail or advice or whatever. But we're gonna do things backwards today. We're gonna try something new. This is what we do here. We're gonna try something new. And that's why we're doing this. But I do like using this mat. It is really fun. So the idea behind this is that each of these squares each of these little lines has a triangle, and each triangle makes up a square. The square helps me grid out the energy and connect it a little bit better. So even to my physical eye, I can line up these cards in a straight line. I can put these two to connect to these 4 squares, so that way I'm getting a more aligned answer. And these crosses can go outside of the loopy loops. That's what I'm calling them. So that way we can get a little bit straighter and more direct energy. Those of you who do like crystal grids understand what I'm talking about. This is basically like a crystal grid, but for tarot. And you can do this with your Metatron cube or your seed of life. This is just the one that I have because I got it from the bodega, and you know, we do Mexican magic here. She says in her Naruto hoodie. Okay. So a wonderful idea, the aha moment. Definitely that big gift coming in. This is definitely gonna be like the moment of your life, where all of the things that have been happening, whether they were good, whether they were bad, trust me, I've been through a lot of bad. That's how I ended up with a new phone. And just all, like, if you've been losing things, feeling forgetful, feeling beaten up, kicked down, just know that that's part of this Libra Mercury retrograde is about. Just the fact that we may need some balance in our life. And if you've been having a lot of good, well, this was your time to go through a really big bad, so that when they gave you the big good, that it wasn't gonna be so hard. It's not gonna come attached to any buts, ands, or what ifs. This is a good thing that's coming. Release your power. Some of you are being asked, in order to manifest this, you have to release all of that pent-up energy that you've been holding on to. It's kind of like you've been saving it up. It's time to spend it. You probably were saving it for a rainy day. Well, you know, I mean, if you're having a run of bad luck, right now is probably the best time to start cashing out your good luck. Tomorrow I think is the end of the retrograde, and then we'll go into shadow period and for a few days, and then we'll finally be out of it. So I would think by the end, like after shadow period, is when you'll really start to see the like payout on this stuff. So yeah, clean up, everybody, everywhere. I don't know where that came from. I have not watched Barney, like, even as a child, I didn't watch Barney very often. But that was a little bit of a thing, because that's literally like, that just came out of my mouth. As soon as I said clean up, that's what happened. Because typically what I do when I do clean up, like whenever I say stuff like clean up, or it's more like 10-second cleanup from Comfy Couch, like 10-second cleanup, go! And then you have to clean everything up. And I feel like that's how I operate in life, but for right now, for everyone, they're giving us plenty of time. That's why we got like the cute little Barney song, is like clean up, everybody, everywhere, clean up, everybody, do your share. I don't remember how it goes, but you know, it's just basically telling us that like we're all going to be doing our fair share. We're going to be giving and taking. We're going to be balancing the scales, good and bad, yin and yang, you know, like that's more of a Piscean thing, but still, like, it's still the idea of putting not just physical things into balance, but emotional, spiritual, and higher self things as well. For those of us who have been taking a back seat, hi. Me too. Sorry, I'm trying to get it on camera, like, me too, but like, whatever. Yeah, it's just basically telling us that we have plenty of time to clean up, get our act together, and keep going, because we're clearly headed in a beautiful direction. We're leveling up. We're getting good messages. We're, you know, opening up to spirit. We're appreciating spirit. Like, these are good things. These are all good things. I'm gonna pull one more card. Yeah. So the past returns for a time and a clear solution. Some of you already know what this is. Some of you don't. But if you don't know what this is, just be ready. Because it's always unexpected. Anytime spirit tells us something in these cards, it's never what we assumed it would be. It's always something different, usually better. And our last card. Last card. Three fates. What comes around? So if there's been some issues going on for you, just know that what goes around comes around. So if you know what the source of this is, know that that's not your problem to be taking on. Spirit's already on it. They were like, don't play with my baby. Like an overprotective mother, like, don't be playing with my baby. Ain't nobody gonna play with my baby. So don't play with my baby. That's what Spirit's saying. And I mean, you're divinely protected, you're divinely guided. So yeah, like, Spirit is saying, like, that's my baby, don't play with my baby. You thought you were being slick, you thought you were being cute. Like, I feel like Mercury retrograde is also a time for, like, ancestors and spirit guides where they, like, put up a wall and they can't help us. We have to figure it out for ourselves. And like they have like little ways that they can help us, but essentially like for the most part it's like we're almost cut off from spirit completely, like not in the sense that like we don't have our own magical and ancestral power, but in the way that they're kind of like, okay, this was the amount of time I had to help you, now do it yourself, because I can't help you. I physically cannot help you right now. And now that that's coming to an end, they're like, okay, we can come back, we can start giving you those little things to help you out. So we just have to, in times like this, just take a day at a time and not rely so heavily on spirit and the magical universe, because sometimes we just have to do it ourselves. Okay guys, well, that's all I have for you today. This was a really fun reading. I'm definitely going to be pulling this mat out more often for us. We'll probably use charms on this as well, or seashells. That'd be fun. But that's all I have for you. Have a great day, and remember to make it always the best and highest self day. Bye.